Hey guys, welcome back to another video, back to another review video, and I'm going to be reviewing the Jurassic World Rebirth Wild Roar baryonx. So of course, just like the other few figures I've gotten on my channel, I have got this figure from Target. Just like the Utah Raptor, it retails for about $18.99, and I've already done a review for the Utah Raptor and also the Titan. So if you haven't seen that video or those videos, then definitely please check them out for me and give them a like. It would really help out our channel a lot. But yeah, I'm going to be reviewing this figure, and honestly, this is the best Mattel baryonx that I've ever seen or ever once had. Because it's been a while since we've had this species and this kind of like assortment, so it's really good to see it back. But we won't know how truly amazing it is if we don't get into it right now and have a closer look at it. So, if we start up here at the head, we can see that, of course, it has a long, slender, narrow snout, which is something baryonyx had in real life. We have a nice set of rows of teeth, and of course, these are the kind of teeth that Mattel been using on a while, or for a while, I should say. But if we do go inside the mouth, we have a glossy look for the tongue and the upper mouth. Very nice saliva-like look for it. We have some nice brown around the eye, and we have some ridges up here around the eye too. We have a nice green eye with no painted pupil. It's just brown like all around the eye right here. So that's just very sad though. But if we do go to the jaw though, the jaw does have some nice detailing to it. The jaw is actually a different color from the upper head, because if you look at the upper part of the head, it's like orange red. And if you look at the lower jaw, it's more of like that peachy color. And of course, we have the skin flaps here on each side of the mouth. They have a nice glossy look to them too, which again, that makes it look like that saliva-like look. If we go on top of the head, you can see that brown that goes all the way down. And then right about here, we get to see like those scoots and stuff that run all the way down to the body. And you can see like how they're in rows and stuff like that. That's something we actually do see on a Jurassic World style baryonyx. But it goes all the way down to the tail and pretty much almost to the end, but it does stop like right here. If you see where my finger is, it doesn't go all the way down to the tail, to the very tip. But yeah. But if we go right here on the side of the neck, we can see more of like that peachy color, and like striping like rows. That's right here for the jaw. And it actually is under the neck and leads all the way to the other side, where we also have more of that peachy striping color as well. And I should also add, of course, that the brown does like go down, like almost like if it's striping detail, but it ends right about here. Yeah, we have some nice skin wrinkles that lead all the way out to the tail. All right. And if we go out to the arms are pretty much the same color as the main majority of the body. We have some nice like scales right here. Mattel have actually been doing that for a few of their figures, like as far as the scales go. Mattel been doing this for a few of their figures a lot lately. I don't know why, but we have some scales right here, as you can see. And then of course we have all these scoots for the arms, and then of course we have the heavy claw on each hand. Of course, that's what baryonyx means, heavy claw, and that's one thing this dinosaur is known for. And then they gave him a nice glossy look to it, of course, without them actually being painted. So the glossy look is actually a plus, even though they didn't give it paint. But we do have the nice claw digits, and of course, unlike the Titan, but just like the Utah Raptor, the claws kind of face inwards instead of outwards, like for example this. So yeah, that's very nice. The legs are nicely sculpted, and we have some bumps and scales and stuff like that for on the hip right here. Goes all the way down. We have a nice calf muscle right here. Very skinny in my opinion. And the feet sculpt is the same as all the other baryonyx figures, but of course, just like with the arms or the arm claws or whatever, they did give the toes like a glossy look to them, as you can see right here. They're not painted, of course, but Still very good for the glossy look, and of course, just like every other Mattel carnivorous dinosaur figure or any other Mattel dinosaur that has a dew claw, they're not painted, but they do give them that glossy look. As you can see, they're not painted. That's just very sad though. But yeah, and then just moving out to the tail, nothing really much. We can see, like the tail has an extremely long length to it. And but one thing that is different from other baryonyx figures we've had in the Mattel line is that there are extra like bigger like scoots and stuff like that. As you can see, like the spikes that run on out to the tail are actually bigger than compared to other baryonyx figures. So I don't know if this is something we're going to see from baryonyx in the movie. I do believe it's going to be in the movie, but since we're almost a month away from the movie, it's hard to tell for sure because this is the only figure baryonyx has from the movie line as far as we know. But since they did added, like some extra like osteoderm like bumps on out to the tail, then I would assume that baryonyx probably is going to be in the movie. Or I don't know if this is something that we're going to see in the movie from the baryonyx, if it's going to be in the movie, or if it's just something Mattel decided to do. But one thing, unlike some other Mattel figures, is that we do actually have an incredibly long tail. Actually, like the tail does have a good amount of length to it, which is something that we should have saw for like every other Mattel like carnivorous dinosaur, including like the Tyranotitan, but they didn't. So yeah, that's that. But as you can see, there is a ball joint for the tail, of course, and of course, it falls into the action feature, but if we do go down on the underside, nothing much. We see the speaker button for the sounds because, of course, this is a Wild Roar figure. And, of course, we have more of that peachy color that we see on the jaw right here. And if we just go under the feet, of course, there is the Jurassic World trademark logo on this foot. Then on the other foot, there is a scan code that you can scan into the app. Oh, and they finally updated the app so you can actually scan this into the Fax app if you haven't already done so. So here's the code right here. They just updated the app. So yeah, you can finally scan in the code to unlock some facts about your dinosaur. I don't know. But there is the code for it. But as far as articulation does go, the mouth can move, but it's gonna kind of go right back to the way it was because it's a part of the action feature. And of course, you do get like a rotating neck and up and down, but that falls into the action feature as well. We do have the arms because the arms are on a ball joint, so you can move them out like that. You can move them up like that, and you can basically break the dinosaur's arm by doing this. But I would just put it back to the way they were if I were you. And just like with the Utah Raptor, the legs are of course like on a pivot, so you can move them like this, but it's very jerky if you ask me. I don't know if you know what that means, but it's very jerky if that makes any sense. Because yeah, but you can move the legs though. And also, just like the other figures from this line, or most of the other figures from this line, the legs don't go out from the body. You just have the standard leg articulation like that. And we do have a rotating tail, so the tail can rotate. But of course, if you over rotate it, the scales aren't going to match on the top scales, if that makes any sense. So yeah, let's just rotate that back. But yeah, that's as far as articulation goes. So just like with the Utah Raptor, the Baryonyx has pretty much the same action feature. Like if you move the tail down, you can kind of get a feel of the noises, but I don't know why they gave it different roars instead of baryonyx roars that we do here in the movies and stuff like that. It's so weird. They gave it Indominus Rex roars. I don't know why, but I'm planning on taking the batteries out of this and just having it standard because the roars are just embarrassing for this figure. But we did have Indominus roars on the Epic Attack Baryonyx that was released last year for the Epic Attack line. And for those of you who don't know what the Epic Attack line is, it was a like it was like a line exclusive to Walmart, like the previous battle damage and extreme damage lines, and yeah, it included a baryonyx, and I actually do have it. I just don't have it like with me like right now, but yeah, it did actually have the similar noises. So I don't know why they decided to do that, but it definitely is a big improvement in my opinion from the other baryonyx figures that we've had in the past. But as far as comparisons go, here it is next to a standard size human figure, and as you can see, it dwarfs the human figure, and yeah, it does have a really good size to it because, of course, it falls in that roarivore, wild roar kind of size range that you would expect for this. So if you already have this figure, then you would already get a good idea of the size, I guess. But another comparison I did want to do, here it is compared with the Leucistic Baryonyx from Chaos Theory, the one that came in the set that was released earlier from the Target exclusive. And if you want this set, you can actually go to Target because it's still in stores. But as you can see, they're around the same size, but I don't know why they just chose to change the sculpt for the Leucistic Baryonyx, which is right here, but they decided to go back to the older sculpt kind of for the Rebirth one. It's so weird to me. But they do look really good next to each other, though. And let's do another one of its, also another one of its famous relatives. Here it is with the Chaos Theory Suchomimus. And as you can see, the Baryonyx is by no means smaller than it, but at the same time, the Suchomimus is just a little bit bigger than it, of course. But as you can see, they do look really good next to each other. Although the Baryonyx might need to eat a couple more hamburgers, if that makes any sense. And here it is also compared with its wave mate, the Utah Raptor. And of course, they do look really good next to each other, as you can see. But the Utah Raptor is by no means a little bit smaller than the Baryonyx as far as that goes, but they still look really good next to each other. Still got to get the Maiasaura and the Nasutoceratops though, as those are the only two other figures I got to get, and I will also be reviewing those two when I find them. So if you guys want to see reviews for those and more figures reviewed in the future, then definitely stay tuned to my channel for that. And last comparison, here it is with yet another Rebirth figure. This is the Gigantic Thrasher's Tyranitar. This was actually my very first Rebirth figure review. So of course, as I said at the start of the video, I think I said at the start of the video, if you haven't seen my review for the Gigantic Thrasher's Tyranitar, then definitely go check it out because I think it's a good review in my opinion. Probably not like one of my best, but definitely one didn't do in a long time, if that makes any sense. But as you can see, the Baryonyx is almost around the same size as the Tyranitar, which is very embarrassing, and it's not accurate at all because Tyranitar would have completely dwarfed Baryonyx in real life. But that's just Mattel standards, and even their feet are almost around the same size too. But by no means, the Tyranitar is just a little larger than the Baryonyx. So, final thoughts on this figure. It's a really good figure. Definitely, in my opinion, a big upgrade than compared to the previous Mattel Baryonyxes we've had in the past. And I still think Baryonyx is going to be in Rebirth, but maybe not in this color scheme and maybe not like with the extra scoots going down its tail, but it is overall a really good figure. I like its head sculpt. I like what they did with the arms, of course. Oh, yeah, and I should add that the arms actually do have a rubbery feel to them as well. So just like the Utah Raptor, the arms are very rubbery. So, so you can like stretch them and stuff like that, as you can see what I'm doing with mine. But yeah, it's an overall really good figure and definitely like probably my second favorite from this wave of the Wild Roar figures. But Utah Raptor definitely comes first from this wave. But if you are interested in picking this up, then you can go to Walmart and Target to get this because I got mine at Target. And yeah. But these are going to be hitting everywhere, like showing up everywhere on June 1st. because June 1st is on Sunday, so in just 2 days. And yeah, so if you want this figure, then just go to Target and Walmart and other retailers just to find it. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And definitely go check out my first two reviews of the Tyranitar and the Utah Raptor. But yeah, just subscribe for more like videos, because I got way more videos and way more reviews coming on the channel. I got a lot more to do, so if you want to see them, then please stay tuned for those. But yeah, I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye bye.